Actually, wait a second. Get some water. Oh God. Let's see what we got going on. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? So, family, I'm so excited to be here today because today's message is something that's so dear to my heart. And y'all know the vibes, and by that I mean y'all know that I'm not gonna really be able to see the comments, so I'll just be going. Actually, I'm gonna log in from my phone that way I'll be able to see, because I definitely want to also share this, and I want to bring y'all this message with like some ease. Oh Lord, okay. So let me just log on right quick. I was almost like, oh, am I gonna make it? Y'all know I'm a proprietor for time is an illusion, so it's 11:10. My time is about to be 11:11, so it must be divine timing for me to start at 11:11. Right? Okay, so cool. What's up, Donnie? Peace, peace, peace. Okay, so now I got the phone set up, so now I can see the comments even as I do this. So, what is up, y'all? What is up? What is up? What is up? Today, I'm bringing y'all the message of compassion as a karmic transmuter. And I'm so excited to talk about this because it's something that's really not understood when we talk about compassion. So as many of you may know, my name is Taisha Simpson, but my ritual space name is Karuna Anahata Ma'at. And Karuna is actually means compassion. And the reason why this name was given to me when it was downloaded into me was because compassion was really the single most thing that changed my life. At the end of the day, like, it's the thing that, and I'm going to talk about this a lot today, it's the thing that as I extended it in myself, it was so easy to extend it in the world. And I watched my reality change, and I watched the reality of others change simply by being a karmic transmuter of compassion. So, typically speaking, when we hear compassion, I'm going to tell y'all a short story. Because I've been talking about making sure that I'm getting in my storytelling bag because I love to do that. So I'm going to tell y'all a couple of stories today that will really help y'all to see what I mean when I talk about compassion is a karmic transmuter. It literally can transmute anything, along with a few of the other tools that have been online, right? But now, us that are doing the worship, we are taking these tools and we are making them super practical. We're making them applicable in everyday life, and we're watching it literally change our lives. So, compassion is a karmic transmuter. So, and I may have told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again. I'm gonna tell it again, and I'm gonna tell all my stories over and over. But, bam, y'all, I remember I was going through this breakup, and we was really splitting the apartment up, and because of it, I was like out the house. I was in the car. I had been in the car for a little bit, to be honest with you. And I remember pulling into the gas station one morning. It was about 7 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning. And I guess I wasn't moving fast enough for this person. And they start cursing me clean the fuck out at the gas station. And, you know, bitch, this, F you, that. And they were like cursing me out, right? And of course, my animal ego was like, I'm gonna get out of this car. I'm gonna curse this behind out too. I was like, I'm gonna let him have it. I'm gonna let my ego have. I'm gonna let him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. I get out the car. I go in the gas station. Y'all, this man had a 6-pack of beer on the counter. It was 7 a.m. And I looked at the counter, and I knew that I wasn't gonna curse him out. I walked to the register, And I was like, you know, I hope you receive a miracle today. And all this man really could say to me was, and you too, and right back at you, right? That's all he could say. So I walked to my car, y'all. Now, mind you, I was dealing with my own stuff, which is really what is always happening, right? We're all a universe unto ourselves. So as much as we love to take everything personal, as much as we think everything is about us, every individual, over 8 billion individuals, are experiencing their own reality, their own things. And so I got in my car and I just broke down in tears. I just broke down in tears. And I didn't break down in tears because I was sad. I broke down in tears because I realized what I had just done within my embodiment and the things that I say, the things that I preach, the things that I've always been a really compassionate person, but when I am in situations where it's very easy not to be, or where it's very easy to be in my ego, and then I'm able to exude compassion, it tells me a lot about myself. And so when I got in my car, I started bawling, crying, because through my homelessness, through how I was feeling, through everything, I could have easily cursed this man clean out, and I could have gave it to him. Right? I'm from New York. We get a bad rap, you know, about being very aggressive, about, you know, the things we say, how we say it, about saying SMD, right? And I was like, you know what? I just started crying because I had realized, you know, this is what the ascendants say. This is what Jesus said when he said, forgive them because they know not what they do. This man is cursing me out. And he ain't cursing me out. He not really cursing me out. He had a 6-pack of beer, clearly 7 a.m. He was going through his own shit. And maybe he didn't have the tools, or maybe he didn't have the support, maybe he didn't have the people that would help him come to his own level of, you know, this young lady's not doing nothing wrong. But through my own vessel, I was able to transmute that. And so compassion is something that, and I'm going to take it to deep levels. That's very surface, right? I'm going to take it so deep today when I share with y'all some of the things that I've been through and how I've watched compassion be a karmic transmuter in my life. Okay, so forgive them because they know not what they do. Forgive them because they know not what they do. And many, many times, we have been the one who needed to be forgiven because we knew not what we did, right? We cursing, carrying on, we acting crazy, we fighting, we doing all these different things. Hey, Val, we doing all these different things. And in that space, we was the one that needed the compassion, right? And so I see this man, 7 a.m., he got the beers on the counter. I went from, I'm going to curse this man out, to, I really hope you receive a miracle, because as I looked at him, all I could see was myself. All I could see was myself. And that's really the catalyst. That's really the thing that moves us forward in humanity, is when we can start to see ourselves in each other. You know, I talk a lot about mirrors. I talk a lot about mirroring. I'm dating and me and my person, we talk a lot about, because he has his like masculine perception of things and I have my feminine perception of things, but I have this perception of the mirror that is so vivid. And I'm like, oh, you believe that men have all this capacity and want all this autonomy and da-da-da. And I said, well, why can't, as a human being, why can't a woman want the same thing? So compassion really is the catalyst. So I'm going to tell you another story, because like I said, today is a storytelling day, and I'm going to just go deeper and deeper with each story. So the beginning of the year, y'all, I had a miscarriage. And during this miscarriage, the outer perception is I was treated very poorly. I was treated very poorly by my partner at the time. And mind you, this is the perceived, right? Because I'm going to get into it. He was dating somebody, and she's definitely not on my type of time. I'm the type of person where your car broken down 1 a.m. I'm like, come on, let's go make sure she good. Because what I want for myself, I want for all women. I want for all human beings. I believe all human beings deserve to have their needs met. All human beings deserve love. All human beings deserve, and they're worthy of it. So I was going through my miscarriage, and during that time, my partner had moved out. He had moved in with another young lady. Mind you, this was his house. I was still in the apartment. The rent was not being paid. And so during my miscarriage, where I actually, when I found out I was having a miscarriage, they asked me, Did I want a DNC? Lots of women, we know that the DNC is when they vacuum everything out. I'm a really holistic natural person. I've never had to experience this. So I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna let it happen naturally. So I thought. So when I tell y'all that thing ripped through my body, it was not an easy thing for my physical vessel. And so I was put on bed rest. My body had went into hypertension. I was going through a lot of things during this miscarriage. And so remember I said the rent wasn't being paid. So during that time I had applied for the ERAP program, which is emergency rental assistance, out here in Arizona, and they have it everywhere. And the apartment was in his name, and so it was approved, but it needed to go into his banking account. Okay, it needed to go into his banking account, and so I had to put that information in. And so, end of February come, the rent is backed up like $5,000. I see that the deposit went into his account because it's coming to my email, but I'm not hearing from him. Now, one thing I have is insight. So for me to go into my ego automatic, I don't really do that because I'm always thinking about perspective. I'm always thinking about the nuances, right? And when we going to tie this back to compassion. I got y'all. So it went to his account. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He not really saying nothing. My insight, first of all, I'm a 1-3 splenic projector. I don't know if anybody gets into human design, but I am a investigator martyr. That means I'm gonna fuck around and find out. I just so happen to be a projector, so I'm not very skip steppy. But my partner at the time was a 1-3 manifesting generator, so he also needs to fuck around and find out. But then he also was a manifesting generator, which is constantly pivoting and constantly skipping steps. When I saw that the money was deposited and he hadn't contacted me, I automatically thought, this man is trying to flip a car. This man is trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. I already knew it. So that's what was happening. He tried to rob Peter to pay Paul. He tried to flip a car. It did not work out. I ended up losing the apartment with me and my daughter in it. And fast forward, he was like, I just want to make sure you and Amaya is good. He ended up not being with the young lady, which again, I knew that already. I'm a projector and my vision crazy. I knew when he started dating the girl, I said, oh, manifest her. And she's not really into this. So I highly doubt that the level of worship has been done for her to really know how to express herself and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, that happens a lot. I'm a very ownership type of person. So I be like, I own my shit, which is very rare. It's very rare for somebody to say, hey, you've done nothing wrong to me. I was taught XYZ, and so I need to process this belief that I have. And so I already knew that the relationship wasn't going to work. And when it didn't, he ended up kind of living in his car. And so he was like, yo, I'm going to just get you an apartment in my name, and you don't got to worry about it. I don't have to live there. I just want to make sure you're good. And so we was looking at places, whatever, and we were in the vehicle. Mind you, this is a couple months down the line. I had been homeless for real for at least a month or two before getting the new apartment. So we met up and we were talking. And I have so much compassion. Number one, what men nor women are taught about is first trimester hormones. We're not taught about the emotions, the fluctuations. We're not taught about all the things that come with that. I was very emotional as he was integrating a new partner. And like I said, she's not on what I'm on. So the level of understanding and stuff like that, she was relating a lot from a monogamous standpoint. So there was a lot of feelings of abandonment, things like that, right? Because that's my wound, right? At the time, because your girl done addressed it. But I was very emotional, and to be honest with you, my miscarriage, I know for a fact, was a product of the medication I had to take, because as soon as he was intimate with her, they burned me, right? So then I had this miscarriage. So anyway, fast forward, and we're in the car, we're looking for this apartment, and he's like, yo, I'll spend lifetimes, trying to repay you. because I was dead wrong. Like, you my best friend, you da 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 da, and this is where the compassion comes in, y'all. In that moment where he said I could spend lifetimes. Now, mind you, y'all heard all the things, and really I glazed over stuff, but from the STD to the miscarriage to losing the apartment to being homeless with my child, there was a point where when I was pregnant, I left the house. Like, he was like, yo, I just need to figure stuff out on my own. During all of this, I had so much compassion for his human experience. I had compassion for the fact that as a man, there had there have been so much spaces where he was not held space for his emotional capacity, all these things. He has own mother wounds. He had all these things, and I was able to always see that. So when we sat in the car that day, and he was like, "Yo, I could spend a lifetime." What's up, Rubino Canto? As we sat in the car, and he was like, "Yo, I could spend lifetimes, making this up to you." I just shook my head no, and I was like, "There's no need to contract something like that. There's no need to feel like there's anything to repay, because what I received from that whole experience was everything I needed to receive. Was everything I needed to receive. Y'all, my name is Karuna, which means compassion. And so when I tell y'all I've received the experiences in which my embodiment is fortified, and that's the thing, a lot of people don't understand that. When you calling in patience, when you're calling in unconditional love, when you're calling in non-judgment, your own higher self is going to give you every experience in order for you to walk in who you say you are. Are you just talking talk, or are you really walking? And this was me learning, oh, Taisha, you walking. You walking, period. Always been compassionate. Always came easier for me. But in this situation, y'all, again, everybody would have been like revengeful, or he gonna have to pay you back, or he going this, he going that, then third. But that's not how I felt. How I felt was so grateful. I felt so grateful for him showing me, one, my own abandonment wounds that I still needed to address, right? Him showing me how to see myself deeply in another. This person was such a mirror for me, y'all. My partner, like everybody, and I talked about this in another one that I did, Hall of Mirrors. Everybody's a mirror for us. In my intimate relationships, I really, really live by that. So I had so much compassion for his human experience. I had so much compassion for him needing to choose himself in certain moments. A lot of times when we are lacking compassion is because we haven't done the thing. So me not choosing myself over and over, right? It would have been easy to be like, well, I would have never did that to you. That's what we love to say. We love to say, I would have never did that to you. Because we find that there is a reward we get or something for being so self-sacrificial. So I sat in that car with him that day, and I'm like, yo, you ain't never got to sign on for lifetimes of repayment. Because I see the truth of the situation. There was something that needed to be learned here. Compassion is a karmic transmuter. Compassion allowed him to walk forward without that karmic heavy weight. Allowed me to walk forward without that karmic heavy weight. And just allow us to grow. I felt like, number one, I was the perfect person for that situation. Because like I said, he's a black man that really, his first child's mother was, of course, she did the best with who she was at the time. But she did some terrible, egregious things in the 3D reality. His second child's mother, nasty in the 3D reality. A lot of things that she was on. And so I was really the perfect vessel for him to receive grace from after he is just learning himself and growing himself, right? Now, and I'm talking about adults, but let's talk about youth. Let's talk about youth, right? Because I posted a video most recently, and the young lady, what's up, Rhonda? I posted a video the most recently, and the little girl, she sounded maybe about 4 or 5 years old, and her mother was doing, her mother was doing all of this, and she was like, you ugly. And the mother turned around and just started flipping on her. Slapped her. You ugly. Da 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 da. Watch your fucking mouth, cursing her out and everything. Y'all, there are adults, full grown adults, that are learning how to operate, that are learning themselves. And we are putting on small children that they need to be responsible for us, responsible for our triggers, responsible da 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 da. Why aren't we having compassion for these young people? And it's a rewind. It's because really we just exude the compassion that we have for ourselves. So compassion is a karmic transmuter. Is that I was able to sit through this situation where I'm in a miscarriage. They gave me an STD. He done ran off with the money. He done did all this stuff. But I was able to give so much compassion because I have ran off with money before. I have done things before. I have been afraid to tell my truth before. These are all things, a part of the human experience that we all experience. And we think because we're not doing it to that person that we've never done it or that we're incapable of it. But compassion says that everything I see is everything that I'm also capable of. So when we're dealing with situations, when we're dealing with people, it really is about how am I able to see deeply? How am I able to see aspects of myself within humanity, within society? And I told y'all within Hall of Mirrors, I got the blueprint. I can show you how to have compassion in any situation. But it is also because, again, I don't just talk. I walk my walk. I have sat in the most egregious of situations and exuded compassion. And let me tell you my experience. I talked about this the other day. We are creating from a toroidal flow. Every time we sit in our heart center and exude that which we deem impossible, we emit a frequency that we receive back times infinity. Come on. Hold on. This laptop. We ain't got time for this laptop. I need to charge now. Because I'm going to be sick if this cut off. Okay. So I think it's back on. But it's because I've been able to sit with my darkness. I've hurt people. I've done things. A lot of times when we can't have compassion for people, it's because we really have not sat and had that for ourselves. Where are you judging yourself? Where are you shaming yourself? Because those are the areas in which it's going to be hard for you to have compassion for another person until you come into it for yourself. Oh, I can't stand liars. Everybody a liar. There's 9 out of 10. There's probably shit you still don't tell your parents. So I have compassion for a person that has a fear of authenticity. A lot of people have been operating the ways they've been operating for years. We talking about grown adults, 40, 50, 60, 70, for years. So, again, that's it. The children coming into the world, Rhonda said the children coming into the world now are a new set of little humans that will show how to treat humanity. And I'm loving it. Let me tell y'all something. We coming into new times. I think I had said this before, even having departments of compassion. How do we deal with that which we're seeing? I know people, they get so triggered. Oh, this person don't respect me. This, that, and the third. This, that, and the third. And I watch them all day not respect shit because we all have a perception of respect. So the transmuter is the compassion. Now let me talk to y'all a little bit about compassionate action, right? Because compassionate action is not, I'm going to go in and try to do everything, save everything. Compassionate action is I see a situation, but I'm going to see it in its highest light. So I'm going to emit that frequency, or I'm going to emit that prayer, or I'm going to see this person in the highest light. And then through that, I don't know who else experienced this, but I know y'all experienced this because I experienced this, is that when I'm exuding compassion, everything for me is enhanced. My intuition is enhanced. The compassion I receive from the outside world is enhanced. My abilities, everything is enhanced when I exude compassion. I might be sitting there and praying for you, and I might get up and I might be healed. Because compassion is a karmic transmuter. Compassion is a karmic transmuter. It says, I see the divinity of everything. I understand it. I understand it deeply. I understand this is a part of me in some type of way. Y'all know when I talk about Hall of Mirrors, I talk about the past patterns mirror. I expect this, so this is how you show up. I talk about the potentials mirror. I shame this, suppress this. So, of course, I'm shaming it and expecting you to suppress it. And then the proclivities, I do the same thing. I do the same thing. And with a lot of these things, y'all, we do the same thing. I may not have gotten somebody pregnant and then did this and that and the third and then ran off with the grant. But shit, I done tried to rob Peter to pay Paul many a times in my life. So when I see people trying, I see that. I don't see, oh, you trying to be some type of way towards me. What I see is we all trying to figure this shit out. We all trying to figure it out. That's compassion. That's compassion. It's not purely the book definition of wanting to alleviate the suffering of another. Compassion is a deep level understanding of who you are seeing when you're seeing other, and knowing that you're only just seeing yourself, aspects of yourself. So I have mad compassion. I went through something with one of my best friends, one of my best friends in the world. This girl done slept in my car with me. This girl done took care of my daughter. This girl done did so many things for me, right? And I hurt her, right? I hurt her. In the 3D, I hurt her. And because I'm able to see all the mirrors, I know like what everybody lessons really be within stuff. And there's always a polar lesson. So if I talk a lot, I manifest people that shut the fuck down. They manifest me. And it's to really show them it's okay to speak your shit. And for me, it shows me it's okay to shut up. Right? We just manifesting. So with me and my best friend, we went through this situation where, and this is way before I had tools. Again, I did the best with who I was at the time. I didn't have up-level communication. I didn't have a way in which to express harder things or taboo things or things that, you know, now I have these tools. Now I can say, oh, hey, this is my ego speaking. Nobody's doing nothing wrong to me. If y'all see me going in and out, it's because I got the phone right here. I'm reading the comments. But basically, I went through a situation where I hid information from her. And my perception, I didn't think I was hiding it. I thought it was just unimportant. I thought that, to me, it was not that serious. Okay? To my best friend, it was that serious. And, you know, it really took a toll on our friendship that I didn't tell her this thing. And so when she found out, she was so livid. She was so hurt. And we end up like not being able to speak. And I couldn't even be mad. But I'm always seeing where there may be a lack of compassion, right? This had been one of my best friends for years, like since we was younger. And so I had watched her fight friends. I had watched her like go through things with friends. And I was like, you know, I don't want to fight my friend. It's how I felt. I was like, hey, yo, I don't want to fight my friend. Not over something that I didn't think that was that important. But her wanting to end the friendship because I didn't reveal this thing that she wanted to know, I had to have compassion for that. Now, the thing about compassion, though, y'all, is that it's not always extended back. Because for me, I have, like, literally compassion over anything. I can forgive anything because really everybody does their best. And let me tell y'all why I could have compassion for anything before I tell you the rest of the best friend story. My dad is one of my favorite people in the world. I love my father. I love my father. He is an amazing man. I'm 34. I've watched my father go through a lot, though. I watched my father grow. I watched my father change. I watched my father mutate. I've watched him go from being an abusive person to being one of the most unconditionally loving person. He sit here and talk like this now. He sit here and talk like me. Just the love, and the love is the only thing. And like, But I would have never experienced that if I would have held who he was when he was 20, 25, 30, 35. If I would have held on to those things, I would have never been able to see him grow, see him change, see him transmute, see him become. But I have so much compassion. My daughter's father, everybody, my friends will get on here and tell you, F him, he did beat this and the third. My daughter will tell you, since she was a youth them, pitney them, tiny little top, she will tell you, my mother has always taught me to have compassion for my father because he's on a journey that I don't know nothing about. This is why compassion is a karmic transmuter. Because the lessons in which a person needs to learn, we should not judge that. We don't know. We don't know the lifetimes in which things needed to. Let me tell you something. If you see a situation, if you see a bully and you see a kid getting bullied, it is okay to say, hey, let's stop this. It is okay to separate the bully and the bullied. It is not okay to judge the bully or the bullied. It is very surface when we judge the murderer. It is very surface when we judge the rapist. It is very surface when we judge the bully. Because there are things that we do not see underneath the surface. There are things that we do not see underneath the surface because everyone is really in service to us. So that person that hit your car and you cursing them out and carrying on, but fucking 4 miles down the road, it was a big ass accident and trucks blew up. But you cursing this dude out over here when he probably saved you from being within that conglomerate of the truck blowing up. Everybody is in service to you. My ex, who was quote unquote doing all those things, he was enhancing me. He was showing me. He was putting me through the lessons that I need in order to talk about and be in who I am. My Mercury in human design is in the 15th and the 64th gate. I'm here to talk about compassion. So it's no way that I could talk to y'all about how it can transmute any energy unless I went through having to use it as a karmic transmuter. Yo, the fact that this thing is not charging, because I don't want it to clip because I love y'all. This is so needed that I like, come on. Okay, so yes, everyone is in service to us. So that's an experience no one should have to deal with because it ain't fun. It's not. But again, compassion. We all get what we need. Have a friend that was killed. With 10 children. The family wanted to start, we should retaliate. We should do this. We should do that. The third. But I'm let's look underneath the surface type of person. So I'm like, what if this situation is to alleviate that revenge? What if this situation is to alleviate that revenge so that y'all can come to peace? Everyone is in service to us. So when we judge the bully, 9 out of 10 y'all, and y'all know bullies. Anybody that ever known a bully and grew up and got to really know the bully story, the bully probably was getting their ass handed to them at home. The bully might not have been eating. The bully might have been getting bullied. My best friend, we used to argue about this all the time. I just can't forgive no murderer. I don't see it. I said, girl, I got a Glock 9mm. That means somebody could walk in this house right now, and if they try to kill us, I would easily become a murderer. Easily. And the version of the story that we would be told would just be that, versions of the story. The news report might say, Taisha Simpson, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We don't know what we see. So it is okay to interject. It is okay to want to separate situations. It's not okay to judge. We really want to have compassion because we do not know. Look at one of the biggest joints. Look at one of the biggest joints, y'all. R. Kelly. Let's look at it. Let's really look at it. This man was also abused. This man was also raped. Now, is it eventually his responsibility to heal them wounds, whatever the case may be, so he does not become a product of the same cycle? Absolutely. But many, many times, especially because we do not have this information mainstream of who we are, because the information is out there. The information been out there. There's books, there's, programmings, there's different things about who we are deeply in our God body and what we're able to exude. At the same time, though, this information has not been mainstream. It's just now with my obsessed generation, because my generation is obsessed with the hero's journey, that we are coming to really know deeply, oh snap, like there's something deeper here. When we don't have compassion or when we judge, we're saying that we don't have any understanding of energy, of energetics, of quantum energy, of energy that never dies. This is a benevolent system. And in the benevolent system, don't you think that the things that you've done, you're going to be able to face them? That don't always happen in one lifetime. So when we see something on the surface, if we see a murder, we don't know what's being reconciled. If we see a rape, we don't know what's being reconciled. If we see a bully, we don't know what's being reconciled. It is okay to stop it. It is okay to interject. It is not okay to judge any parties within the situation because we do not know what's going on underneath the surface. And so when I was going through that situation with my ex, both of us were receiving what we needed on our journey. A lot of times there are things we need to change. We don't be wanting to change them. So yeah, it's going to be a storm that's going to free us because gentle storms don't free us. And I know y'all can agree. There's many situations that if it didn't get egregious, if it didn't get crazy, you wouldn't have left. You wouldn't have become who you here to become. All the things that happened to me as a child, let me tell y'all when I first came to really compassion and gratitude. Let me tell y'all. When I had my daughter, I was going on 20 years old. I was 19 going on 20 years old. I grew up. My great-grandmother raised me. My parents did not raise me. I ended up moving in with my mother in my teenage years. And so I had a story for a long time about my parents and the fact that they didn't raise me. Because of it, I did things. Like I used to fight on a train. I used to fight all the time. I was very aggressive, very wild, And when I had my daughter, I was like, yo, I cannot continue like this. I need to meditate. I need to find something. And I ended up being in a therapy session. I know I tell the story a lot. I ended up being in a therapy session with this woman named Amelie. She was a meditation practitioner. But when I linked with her, she was a therapist. So she let me go on and on and on and on and on. And what I realized is that I love myself so much. And again, I know I say this a lot, but I say it because y'all really got to hear this. I love myself so much that I would be doing myself a disservice to keep hanging the story of my parents didn't raise me over their heads because they really did the best with who they was. And I got exactly what I needed. My great-grandmother gave me exactly what I needed for my journey. We was poor. We was this. It was times where we had to boil, rainwater. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed of those things. Those things fortified me. Those things made me capable and resilient and amazing. It made me able to look at others and see in their strife the God inside of them. It made me understand how amazing others are. And so I had came to this profound sense of gratitude over the love of myself that damn, my parents, they did me a service by not raising me. And I'm using this example because our biggest wounds come from our parentals. Our biggest wounds come from what we believe our parents did or did not give us. Not realizing that they signed up for a very uncomfortable role in order for us to grow, learn, and become. It is very uncomfortable for another soul to play a part in your lesson. It is very uncomfortable for another soul to play a part in your quote-unquote demise or whatever the case may be. It's very uncomfortable. And it was uncomfortable for your soul to play a part in so many other people's lessons. We're not spotless. We're not flawless humans. Again, we believe that, hey, I didn't do this to this person, so that's just it. But many, many times we have done it to other people. Well, I didn't yell at you. I yelled at mad people in my life. So for real, and this is the basis of everything I be on, is that I could hold space for anything. I hold space for the most intense emotion, and that's why it also takes a particular type of person to be able to hold space for me, because I'm not afraid of the animal. I'm not afraid of anybody's ego, because I'm not afraid of mine. I know that my ego is constantly showing me where I need to evolve. I know that my ego is constantly showing me where I need to grow. I know that my ego is just trying to protect me in its own way. And so, compassion, I got the utmost, because I have the utmost for myself. I have the utmost compassion for myself, y'all. And that's where it really all starts. Compassion is a karmic transmuter. It is an enhanced skill. It is enhanced, and it will enhance your energy. And it ain't even got to be that deep of really understanding everything. You just got to see God inside and be okay with not understanding everything. Being okay with not knowing. I have all open centers in human design. My homegirl Kelly always tells me, I don't know. I can't be certain. I can't say. So when I'm dealing with situations, I have such an expanded awareness and perception that I like the boast, I can say, but I know that the reason why I have so much perceptions is because I cannot be certain. There are infinite realities playing out in front of us. And so, especially because I talk to my collective, I talk to a lot of facilitators, healers. Y'all need this. Y'all need to be seated in this, especially when it comes to being of service. If we are coming into situations and we are judging any party, we doing the best with who we are. Right? Everybody's getting what they need. But there's a level of service that is not being rendered because you are in the seat of a judgment of that in which you do not understand and that you cannot be certain of. I have a daughter. Anybody with kids know it's like your heart is walking outside your body. You want to protect them from everything. But I be having to let my daughter live. I be having to let my daughter do her thing. Because I have compassion for her experience. I have compassion for her soul to experience that which it is it needs to experience for her to continue on her journey and do the things in which she came here to do. Or not. But I have compassion for it. I don't be seeking to change anybody. I may come through, drop a couple gems so that you can see yourself deeply, but I have compassion for every human experience that there is, no matter how egregious it is. Because again, I have compassion for myself, have understanding for myself. A lot of times, I see the rhetoric of, oh, they say, that's because it's your mother, but no, you shouldn't be able to tolerate and take the toxicity. And I understand that. I understand that perception. But again, I talk to my collective. We are here of service. And so boundaries are really walls built up around our triggers when spirit is yearning and calling for us to grow. I don't need no boundary if I'm in a space of non-judgment. A lot of empaths, they get very upset with me when I say the journey of the empath is the journey to the non-judgment. I am a two-centered being of 9 centers. So when I tell you I'm absorbing emotions, I'm absorbing physicalities, I'm absorbing desires and thoughts and all these things, I'm absorbing everywhere except my spleen and root. When I say the journey of the empath is the one to non-judgment, I know that deeply within my being because I'm open within all of my being. I'm always absorbing what is happening. But I'm not absorbing what is happening so that I can be drained. I'm not absorbing what is happening so that I can be in judgment. I'm absorbing what is happening so that I can transmute myself. And so when I'm sitting in a situation and I'm saying I want to be of service, you got to be in a space of non-judgment. Because the ultimate lesson for all of us is to remember who we are, which is God inside. And I can't deliver that message if I'm saying, oh, that's a villain. He ain't shit. He did this to you. He did that to you. Y'all know I'm a proprietor for the animal, so if you want to express your victim mindset and get it out, that's what you got to do. That's what's up. But I'm telling you that on the other side of it all is the compassion and understanding and deep knowing of the benevolence of God inside, and why everything is happening is from the deepest place of love, so that you can remember the love that you are, so that you can remember the illusion of reality that we live in, and you can exude something higher, so that you can remember the illusion of reality that we live in, so that you can just remember the truth. Your energy is boundless, endless, limitless. If God is the all-knowing, all-encompassing, all-everything energy, the only way it comes to know itself is by becoming you, by becoming me, by becoming he, by becoming she, by becoming tree, by becoming cat, by becoming dog, by becoming frog, by becoming AI. Because consciousness seeks to experience itself in all the ways. And so when we judging whatever's going on somebody's journey, whatever's going on our journey, whatever's going on in the people that interact with our field that encompass the collective energy that becomes our journey, are we really seeing the truth? And that is that, okay, God has to have every experience. So I'm going to experience sadness. I'm going to experience duality. I'm going to experience polarity. I'm going to experience these things. And having compassion with your own human experience, that you need to experience certain things, to look at another soul and say, damn, they also needed to experience that. Grace. Grace. And now, mind you, this ain't always love and light. Because grace is even giving yourself grace if you know that I'm going to be the karma right now. I got to sue right now. But this is a part of my journey. This is benevolent. So I'm not going to shame the fact that I'm about to sue this person. Because maybe I'm delivering something they need. And vice versa. They delivered a situation and I need. Maybe I needed to learn to stand up for myself. Maybe I needed to learn to say no. Maybe I needed to learn to stand in my own integrity. Allow the people to come through that deeply love you on a soul level to serve you. Because that's what they're here to do. My ex, through the miscarriage, through the money, through the homelessness, he was here to serve me. And in return, I'm able to serve the collective. I'm able to serve the greatest good. I'm able to serve the highest of the highs because of the disservice, right? The 3D would be the disservice he did, when really he was in service to my soul. The 3D would be the disservice. You deserve to be in a 2-parent home, Taisha. You know, your parents didn't raise you. Oh, my dad didn't raise me. My mom, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. My mother did the best with who she was. 3 kids from another country. Been through her own profound traumas and drug abuses. And she trying to go to nursing school when she had me. My dad being 20 years old, really doing the best he could. Y'all, I'm a grown-ass woman. Being a parent tough. So I could look back and be like, damn. Thank God they gave me to my great-grandmother. Thank God. That's compassion. That's grace. That's understanding. That's the thing that's going to change the world. That's the thing where you can really see. You can really see yourself. You can really see others through the eyes of how the master sees. You are not by mistake. You would not be here if you were not needed in the collective energy. So start really loving on yourself on another level. I'm getting chills. Start giving yourself compassion on another level. Damn, I lied. Shit, I could have did better. I could do better next time. Now you see somebody lying and you deeply understand. Oh, you scared. You scared because if you tell this truth, there is a possibility that I may leave, that I may run. I have compassion for that. In Progressive Love Academy, we don't even teach compromise in relationships. We teach compassion. Because compromise says I'm going to compromise my being for the comfortability of another. Compassion says I deeply understand how you feel. Compassion is a hell of a transmuter, y'all. When you are able to go through a situation and be like, I see the benevolence in this. I see God inside. You level up, and you level up every time. And Spirit sends you more gifts. And Spirit sends you more insight. And Spirit sends you more intuition. And Spirit sends you more perception. And Spirit sends you more abundance. And Spirit sends you more of you. You start collecting parts of yourself. Some of us wonder why our loved ones, our ancestors, don't visit. Baby, a part of you is still on the other side of the veil. The more compassion you start having, the more you start to realize, this is an interconnected system. This is a great orchestration. Oh, my dad ain't give me the money. Maybe I was supposed to get out here and build a connection with somebody that'll ultimately change my life. And if my dad would have gave me the money, I wouldn't have went and built that connection that will ultimately change my life. Listen, y'all hear the low battery in the background. Listen, I'm gonna change the I'm gonna change the battery. But for real, y'all, compassion is a karmic transmuter, man. It'll change your life when you can really see the benevolence of everything that's within. We all came here to be of service. Allow those that are here to be of service to you serve you your lessons. That I'm gonna bring it back. That man in that gas station cursed me clean the fuck out. He cursed me clean out. He served me up a lesson that I needed that day because I was able to see God inside of him and myself. I walked in that gas station. I said, I hope you receive a miracle. You got a 6-pack of beer, my brother. I hope you receive a miracle. In that same gas station, I done seen somebody curse out the employee and get all crazy. And I'm just like, yo, like, you ain't never had a first day? We've all had a fucking first day at a job. So why are we treating people in the workplace all crazy? When you're going through something with a person, find the part of you that is there and collect it. And allow yourself to love and nurture on that part. We think we grown out here. We think we adults, but we all just some inner children. I watch anime. I get into anime heavy. I love Naruto. And, you know, they allowed us to see his inner child healing. And I was like, yo, we all just some June Cherokee. We all just trying to tame the beast within us. We all just trying to tame animal, ego. We all trying to integrate. We all trying to hold hands with our ego. Realizing, you know, this is a friend. But allow your ego to show you where you at and what you believe so that you can get some of this higher self energy. You understand what I'm saying? I love y'all. I love y'all. And again, I don't get on here and just talk. I really walk that shit. Anybody that knows me and tell you that my daughter's father all over the place, and I've maintained that man is on a journey I don't know nothing about. I have compassion for it. Do I wish in my ego self that my daughter has a better relationship? Absolutely. But I have compassion for her soul's journey and what she came here to transmute and what she came here to do. I can't force and control. I envision the highest outcome. I envision the highest outcome for my daughter. That's compassion. And that is that she comes to know who she is so deeply that she is in tune with her God self, and that one day she can see that in people same way. And I watch it happen. My daughter has groups of friends that they go through stuff, and I always I tell my daughter 2 things. I say, listen, you can appease your animal ego and you won't be wrong for that. If you want to disconnect, you will not be wrong for that. I'm going to give you another part. As a friend, I stand by. If I'm unable to see my friend, then what kind of friend am I also being? She was going through something with her friend. I said, yo, your friend mother act like that. So of course your friend act like that. That's understanding. That's understanding. That's love. That's okay. My friend can only show what she's been shown. Yo, I love my daughter so much, y'all, because as much as I be thinking my daughter don't integrate all this stuff I got going on, all this stuff that I be saying, every day she shows me that her level of understanding is just on another level. And I tell her all the time, it's not an easy journey to be seated in your compassion. Because compassion, like non-judgment, like everything else, is a muscle. You got to work it out for it to get stronger. So I said it won't be easy, and you will be, most of the time, you will have more perception than a lot of your friends. You'll be able to see the different, oh, damn, this person hurt. That's why they acting like that. Oh, damn, this person didn't eat last night. Oh, damn, da-da-da. You're going to be able to see differently. But it's going to change your life because you will be non-suffering. I go through the most egregious things. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. And I don't be suffering. I be experiencing so much peace. The miscarriage, the perceived betrayal at the beginning of this year. I received so much peace and wisdom. I got a visit from my grandmother where she dropped some jewels on me, y'all. And I don't think I would have went through that exact experience had not it been for what was happening. So what was happening, it could be chaos, but it sets the stage for your rebirth. My girl Tom got a program, Chaos. I can't even say it. But the chaos around you is for your rebirth. And so, compassion, y'all. Get into the deepest love and compassion and understanding for your journey, for what you've been through, coming to the exponential amount of love for yourself. Again, people probably say, I'm crazy when I say I'm so grateful for homelessness. I'm so grateful for my parents not raising me. I'm so grateful for the days when which I didn't have food. I'm so grateful for having to boil water to, you know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful for my mom had been a recovering addict. I'm so grateful for my father to have been a recovering abuser. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so thankful and grateful for the words of my man Waleed. I'm so grateful and thankful. Because I came here to really do what I came here to do. And there was no possible way I could do any of it without the things that set the stage for me. For my magnificence. For my remembrance. And so just come. So y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I didn't know where this was going to go. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I never know exactly where it's going to go. The beginning of the week, I said, what am I going to speak about on Saturday? And I heard compassion, and I still tempered it. I said, we'll wait. That night, I get on my little YouTube, and right there, I see crying. I had a video about enhanced compassion, about a 10-minute video, and I said, okay, Taisha, this is what you got to speak about. Again, my Mercury is in gate 15. I'm here to talk about compassion. And y'all, I deeply live it. There is no situation that I'm not grateful that I have been through. At all. And I've been through a lot of things. But because of it, I get to sit here in this remembrance and this magnificence. So I love y'all so much. I'm gonna get up off here. I'm running a little bit over. I was a little bit late, you know what I'm saying? But again, y'all, compassion is a karmic transmuter, man. It's a karmic transmuter. And the crazy part, I'm thinking I'm gonna get on here and tell y'all some ancient stories. You know, Kuan Yin, you know, her father had the whole village raper and pillager. You know what I'm saying? And then it came a time where she had to give him an organ. And she did. That is a transmuter. That does not mean, listen, because everybody on a different part of their journey now, that don't mean go ahead and be given what you don't got. But it means to fill yourself up so much that you are in your overflow and you are able to give from that space. And just have compassion for the human journey, man. We all just some June Shittakis. I love y'all. I'm done. I'm out. I love you, Rhonda. I'm out. I don't even know how to end this thing right now. I can't even end this thing. Okay, here we go. Oh, 888. That's what I